Hello, friends. Welcome back to week 6 of the Sabbath School Nugget, the roots of Abraham. First, I want to thank Pastor Bob for his diligent and faithful contribution to the Sabbath School Nugget. I personally enjoy his insightful thoughts on last week's lesson, All Nations and Babel. This week's lesson takes us to the center of the book of Genesis, covering the life of Abraham. God's first call to Abraham in Genesis 12:1 leads him to leave his past. God's second call to Abraham in Genesis 22:2 leads him to surrender his son Isaac, in a sense letting go his future that will exist in his son. Abraham is always on the move, always a migrant, which is why he is called a stranger. In the first call in Genesis 12:1-9, God calls Abraham to leave his country and his family. In obedience to this call, Abraham leaves all that is familiar to him, his family, his country, even part of himself. The intensity of this going reflected in the repetition of the word go, which occurs 7 times in this context. Consider all the things Abraham must leave. He must leave his country, heir of the Chaldeans, which is also Babylonians. He must leave his family, his heritage, much of what he has learned through education and influence. But there is more. The Hebrew word go, translated literally, means to go yourself. This suggests Abraham must leave himself. In a sense, he must leave part of himself that contains his Babylonian past. And in return of his obedience, God promises to bless him. That promise is not only to bless Abraham personally, but also to bless the whole world through him. And that is something beautiful about how God works. Whatever he asks us to give up, he always gives us in its place something better. What might God be calling you to leave behind today? Are you willing to trust that he can and will give you something better in its place? And that is the nugget. Thank you for stopping by. Study your lesson. See you tomorrow.